Hello, friends. I'm going to talk about a group, a collective, a musical collective, I guess it is, um, called the KLF. And I know you probably heard of them. There's a whole lot of there's documentaries and a whole lot of info about them. I'm not going to go into all the other stuff about burning tons of money and all that kind of thing. I just want to talk about one album that I really like by them. A lot of their stuff is maybe a little bit too um, I don't know, dancey, dance pop, kind of not much going on to my ears. But they have an album called Chill Out that I have on CD here. It's kind of hard to find for a while because there were some samples that they had on here that I think they didn't get the proper rights for, so it got pulled or something like that. But these are folks from London, I believe, who did this album as a kind of a tour through the American South, which is interesting, or the American, the American experience, kind of a Route 66, finding yourself, Jack Kerouac kind of thing, and it kind of takes you on a trip in an almost literal way. I know I talk a lot about music that it kind of gives you that trip feeling, like it's like the music is taking you on a voyage, taking you into another place. This one really does that. And you kind of put the headphones on and you feel like you're on a train, or you feel like you're driving through some southern town. You're driving through Memphis in, maybe 1972 or something. And you hear the crickets and you hear the rattle of the train on the tracks, and you hear the engine and you hear the car radio. It's got a real sense of ambience. It's almost like a field recording. It almost gives the impression that somebody just turned on a tape recorder and they drove through the South in a car with a car stereo on, and maybe they had the window down so you could hear cows every once in a while or other things happening. It is a soothing journey. It's something that I listen to quite often, and I really enjoy the sound of it. It has a real nostalgic sound. There are some hits in there. Some, I mean, not like music hits, but some moments that hit you as feeling very nostalgic. There's also some music of theirs in here that you hear that comes in and out, that is music of that they recorded earlier, that it's almost like somebody's listening to it on a boombox and they walk past you, in a swamp somewhere in Louisiana or something. It's a fascinating trip record. I really like it. It's an ambient. I guess it's classified as ambient, but I would consider it to be sort of like a musical landscape or a field recording or something. But there's more to it than that. It's pretty fantastic. I listen to music like this when I'm working, because sometimes music with lyrics that's got too much of a beat, or it can be distracting. But this is a great one to listen to when you want to just have something on, but you don't want to be pulled too far out of what you're doing. You want to still be able to invent and think and be creative. I like it. I like this album a lot. I've listened to this many, many times, and it's got a definite feel to it. The sound, the tonalities, the style. It's got an analog feel to it. You feel like you're listening to a recording of something, and of something actually happening. Like you're traveling, you're moving, you're on a train, you're in a car, you're walking, you're moving through a field. Um, it's got a very good landscape aspect to it, and it's also pretty moving too. I think there's a bit of emotional content here as far as how those places make me feel. It takes me back, gives me kind of a sense of nostalgia to hear some of the copyright issues that this had was due to some of the songs that you hear coming through on what's ostensibly a car radio, a car stereo, or a boombox, or a club or something nearby that you're passing, and you hear music inside there. And Some of those songs, I guess, didn't pass the copyright gauntlet, but you can still find it out there, I think, in its original form. That's what this is. This is a pretty old CD, but it still has that sense of being in the past, of traveling through the past. It's not like a present day experience. It's more like you're going through. I mean, you hear Elvis on here. You hear Elvis Presley singing, and you hear other pop songs that will take you back if you're of a certain age or if you like oldies radio. But yeah, I very much recommend Chill Out by the KLF. There's the word even bigger. Chill out. Yeah, it's no, that's Freak Out. Never mind. Chill Out is a classic. I think it's a beautiful classic. The cover kind of reminds me of something like a Pink Floyd album, like Adam Hart Mother or something like that. But it's the peacefulness of that cover is kind of how peaceful this album is. It is a peaceful album. It's something to put on when you want to take a little drive through your nostalgia or someone else's nostalgia. Maybe that's all I'm going to say about it. But thanks for listening, and I will talk to you again real soon.